Welcome to the Leveraged and Loving It podcast, business advice for coaches and thought leaders. And now your host, Renee Hasseldine.
Welcome back to Leveraged and Loving It. I'm Renee Hasseldine, and we are joined today by Bianca McKenzie, who has been on the show before, although that was quite some time ago. If you haven't come across Bianca yet, she is a Facebook ads and launch strategy specialist. She's an absolute superstar at this stuff, and I'm super excited to talk to you today about online course launching. Yay! Woo-hoo! Thanks for coming back, Bianca.
Thanks for having me. Yay.
Awesome. Okay, so we're here to talk about launching online courses, and it's probably a really important topic because, gosh, I know so many people who create courses and then no one buys it, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a story.
And and I'm gonna totally own this because this was me in the past, because I'm a creator, I'm an innovator. I could create products all day long. That's my happy place. But then the selling part of it is not where I get all my juice from. That doesn't fill my tank. So I think, it's really great to have people like you out there in this world who can help people like me who just create forever and a day and never sell a thing. So tell us a little bit about, what do you mean by an online course launch? What is a launch?
Well, there's multiple definitions. You can do a launch that is sort of in time, like a once-off kind of thing, or a regular occurring thing, or it could be evergreen, which is when you put it on automation. And both of them are launches in sort of different ways. But basically what it means, my definition of a course launch is to bring your offer to market, to put it in front of people and then invite them to join your course. Yeah. So basically it's opening the doors to what you've created, and not just opening the doors, but also, that promotion part. So actually, let people know, rather than I'm just opening the doors. Oh, nobody's coming in. Well, you could tell people about it. That's kind of one of the bigger parts.
Oh, it's not just if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, that one.
Shit, you mean that doesn't work?
Oh, well, you could try it, but I haven't seen it work. Let me know if you figure it out. Sometimes I guess it works if you already build an audience. No, actually it doesn't work, because you still would tell that audience that you've already built, that you've created something new. So no, you have to tell people that you've created something and it's open and people can buy it and join you.
Yeah. So is launching an online course for all business owners? Who's it for?
I wouldn't say it's for all business owners, although there are people that argue that there is a course in everyone. Look, I think it is an absolutely amazing thing for businesses to do, but I think it has been hyped up so much that a lot of people have this idea that it's the easy thing. It's I'll just create this thing and then people are going to buy it, and I can just sit back and relax, and
I'm just going to lie on the beach and drink cocktails.
Yeah, exactly.
And get sand in my laptop, because apparently that's what people do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I hate sand in my shoes. Don't come near my laptop. So I do think that if you have knowledge that you want to share with more than one person, that it is really a good idea to build a course. But it's important to know that there's so much more to just creating, some content and teaching some content, because there is just more to it. And I think what a lot of people struggle with is I've got all this knowledge and I want to share it, and that's fantastic. But then when it comes to the sales part and even the automation and the tech part, the technology, that's where a lot of people sort of hit a roadblock. It's the teaching part is, could come really easy. If you have that, then an online course could be an option. I would almost say to run some in-person workshops, or do some beta rounds, so that you get a bit of feedback in terms of not only your content and the course that you're creating, but also you can actually talk to the actual person, rather than, all right, I'm just going to create, some downloadable things and some videos and then send it out there. And then a lot of people get disheartened because it's it's tough to sell online courses. It's obviously not impossible because a lot of people do it, and I think it's a brilliant industry, and it's growing and growing and growing. It's only going to get bigger, so everyone wants a slice of it, and good on them. But I think you also have to be realistic about it. It's not as easy as people make it seem.
Yeah, and it's a really great point you make about piloting and running things live before you go to the recording of an online course. And, you know, when I used to teach this stuff, it's exactly what I would say, is that you must at least on one round run it live, you know, even if you're running it on Zoom or whatever, you know, make sure people have their videos on, watch their faces. So when you say something, you can see if they're going, huh?
Yeah.
Or, you know, you can see if they're like nodding and smiling and totally getting it, right? So you need to have that immediate feedback on, you know, the whole part of the course, not just them filling in a form at the end where they're not going to remember every sentence you said. So you're not going to see which bits worked and which didn't. You need that micro feedback to know what's landing and what's not.
Yeah,
you can't get, if you've recorded a video and then you send it out, people are going to give you a generalized feedback, which is like, oh yeah, it was good. Oh yeah, it was pretty good. You know, like that's as much detail as people give you in that situation. So
exactly. Yeah, it's tough.
yeah. Been there, done that.
Well, I think it's a good learning curve as well.
Yeah.
Even just to make those mistakes.
Yeah. So for people who want to create an online course, where should they start?
Well,
create a signature system. That's what she's going to say. She's going to say,
yeah,
first build your signature system, then create your online course based on your signature system. Yep. Okay, good.
Exactly. Well, I would have said that don't start with an online course.
Good. I like that.
Yeah, do some work first. And this is actually one of the tips that I got from my mentor. She actually said, you know, back in the day, I don't work with that mentor anymore, but that was one of the pieces of advice that I got early on. Do some one-on-one work first so that you can, you know, scope out that signature system. And you got to do some work first before you actually find your feet and find what you are wanting to do. When I started this business, I didn't do Facebook ads and I didn't do launch management. I did marketing, which is, you know, that's my background. So it was like much broader. It was social media, email marketing, all sorts of things. So I can do all those things and they all play a part in launching, but like I didn't land there. So just start working like as a, you know, in a business and figure out what your strengths are. And then you can develop that signature system and then you can start launching a course. I wouldn't start with a course. Yeah. In terms of where to start, once you've figured out, you know, where to start with that course, there's people that are in two camps. You either pre-sell the course and then create the content as you go, or you create the course and then you start selling it. I would probably sit somewhere in the middle.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't do the full sort of pre-sales and not have any, like I have to have a really good structure mapped out, but that's just me. If it is not.
Yeah, no, this is what I say to my, you know, my clients who've created this signature system. Well, actually you pretty much can pre-sell that now because you've got your structure, you know what you're going to be talking about through the whole course. You just haven't recorded the videos, but that's totally fine because you're going to do them live anyway the first time. So boom, sell it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's when you can do it. Yeah. Some people say, you know, just pre-sell it, la, la, la. And I do agree with not creating the whole thing first up because there are going to be changes. I did it with my course and, you know, it doesn't really matter with my course because I have to re-record it all the time and Facebook makes changes, which happens all the time. But
evil Facebook.
Oh my God. And then they make cosmetic changes. I'm like, really? Why? Anyway. Yeah. So don't have to do the whole thing yet, pre-sell. But yeah, like you said, once you've got a really good idea and you've got a structure of what that content is, then it is, for starters, easier to sell. And secondly, it's easier to deliver. And then you can adapt it for future launches. And this is the thing with launches. You need to test not only your content, you need to test everything. You need to test how you sell it. You need to test how people, you know, are going to respond to it, how things are automated, if you can automate it, you might have to show up on Facebook Lives lots of times. And like, there's so many components that it's all testing.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do we actually do the launch bit? Like if, so because now I've simplified my business and scaled everything back now. So I'm only running my online game changer program now. That's all I'm offering to the world. And so it's very different to selling my Authority Accelerator program, which is my premium program, because that was, $11,000 program. And and I would sell that through my national tour. So I was doing 4 national tours a year, which sold into the Authority Accelerator. Boom, that worked. It was a proven system and model, and that was all great. Now going back onto the online world, where I'm running just the online program, things are different. I'm not doing half-day workshops and national tours anymore to sell into that. So if I want to sell it purely online, what do I do?
That is, for starters, you got to start doing a lot of testing. The main things are to build you've already got a brand, but for people who don't, you're building a brand, and if that's you, then you are your brand, and that comes with becoming visible. So you need to be visible, whether that is showing up on Facebook Lives on your Facebook page, or building a community like a Facebook group like you do.
Yep.
And promoting that and being really visible and positioning yourself as an authority in that group.
Yep.
The main thing with online launches is that you need a community, and that community needs to keep growing.
Yeah.
Because sadly, most of the times it's a numbers game. So the more people in your community and the more people in your network, the more opportunity you have to sell to those people. There is a general stat available around course launches that from your list, so your community, I would consider your email list database also your community, that about 1 to 3% converts to a sale. This is why people continue to grow their communities. And list building is one thing. And I would definitely recommend doing that list building, but it's starting to sort of change a little bit, that it's not enough in itself anymore. People need they need to see you on video more, and that's why groups and Facebook pages and really just pushing video more is starting to get bigger. So whether it's Instagram TV or whatever it's called, Instagram stories, Facebook group, doing Facebook Lives on in your group and your page. Most people turn to a group because more people will actually see what you're posting when you're in a group versus when you're on your page. So it's really, it comes down to building relationships, really. The bigger your relationships, I see that with my clients, the bigger their networks and the stronger their relationships, the more nurturing they do, the more success they have. And you see that with the big players as well, with your Amy Porterfields and your Marie Forleos. They build their lists throughout the whole year, like subtly, silently in the background. And then when is it? February, March, boom, Marie Forleo opens up B School. But she's been building her list the whole year around, and she plays videos, and there's all that nurturing in that content. So that is a big part with launching. And then by the time that you're ready to open your cart, or if it's an evergreen, it'll be an automated sort of sequence. That's when you start sending those sales emails and inviting people. Another really strong thing in sales for online courses is copy. Like your email copy and your sales page copy, if they don't do the work, that's why I do recommend working with a copywriter if you're not a strong writer. Because they do the selling. And this just coming back to my Facebook ads days, I can help people, bring people into, fill up their funnels and their communities, but I can't make Facebook ads do the selling if the structure, i.e. the emails and the copy and the sales page copy, isn't converting, isn't there. So it's super important what you say and how you connect with your audience. That is a game changer.
Yeah. And do you have to do these with Facebook ads? Do you need to launch with Facebook ads, or are you saying, what are your thoughts on that?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to use Facebook ads. The way I see Facebook ads is it's an amplifier.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you do things faster, basically.
Yeah.
But I would only use it if you know that what you're doing is working. So if you know that, so list building, for example, you offer people a free thing. If you know that your free thing is converting, and then your funnel, sometimes you can't really test your funnel the first time around. You might, do a few ads to build that community a bit bigger. Then you can test whether or not your stuff is selling. But you don't need to use ads. What you need to do is really work on your visibility and your connections and your nurturing. It's just that Facebook ads helps you find people a bit quicker. So,
Yeah, great. So what happens if nobody buys our course? Like, we launch our course, nobody buys it. Do we give up?
No, you go to the numbers. And this is where a lot of people go, only 3 people bought, I suck, and like all the mindset stuff starts taking over. No, you look at the numbers. All right, how many people, for starters, how many people do you have in your community? How many people have gone through your funnel? How many people have you really connected with, if you sort of can gauge that? How many people opened your emails? How many people clicked on each of whatever was in the emails? So you have to, you go through each email. Okay, this many people opened the email, this many people clicked. And it's sometimes a bit of guesswork because there's not really benchmarks for each industry. But if you look at your emails and say, only 15% open your emails, you need to do better at getting your open rate up. So you need to work on your subjects, also on connecting more with your audience so that they want to open your emails. They need to know you. So start really, going through each email. How many people opened it? How many people clicked it? How many people have gone to your sales page? Then as a percentage, how many people have converted? Like, if you've only sent 50 people to your sales page and you didn't get any sales, it doesn't mean your stuff sucks. It means you don't have enough people that have gone to your sales page. You need to have more people going to your sales page. So as a benchmark, I would say send at least, obviously highly qualified traffic. 1,000 people need to have gone to your sales page as a minimum.
Yeah.
I could hear my little girl crying. It's all right, grandma will take care of her. As a minimum, you need to send 1,000 people to your sales page before you can actually get some meaty data in terms of conversions. So, because really, technically, out of that, if you get one conversion, that's actually not a bad thing. And that's how a lot of people, I think, go through their funnel. They're like, I didn't sell enough. I have got a conversion problem. Whereas I see a lot, when I do a lot of reviews, I see that they don't have a conversion problem. They have a traffic problem. They just haven't sent enough traffic to be able to get the numbers that they want. So, and it doesn't mean that those stats, the 1 to 3% are always accurate. I've seen people sell from webinars at, 10, 20, 30, 40% conversion. It really just depends on how much nurturing you do, how much of a brand presence and authority you've built.
Yeah.
Because there's people that sell out their launches. They don't ever do Facebook ads. They sell out their launches, literally the day they open their cart. It's just because they've built a presence, they've built their authority, and people are just waiting for them to open the door. And a lot of us kind of get in our own way and go, oh, well, yeah, that's great for, Amy Porterfield, or it's great for that person. But they started at zero. They're just like they're just like you and me, they're just people. Exactly. So keep going. Don't give up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just listen to the data.
It's such that resilience and not giving up is so important. Having a growth mindset around it. I kind of so cliche to talk about mindset, but it really is true. This is my 19th year in business, and the reasons that I slowed down so many times is I would try something once and go, oh, that didn't work, start again. And I'd just try something completely different. I wouldn't actually go back and, as you're saying, look at the numbers. Okay, how do we tweak this just with a tiny little thing? And then maybe that's going to be the difference, right?
Exactly.
And if we just whatever strategy that we're working on, if someone else has made it work, there's proof that the strategy works. We just need to make it work for us. And that just, you've got to be committed to the trial and error and to actually having that growth mindset. And yeah, exactly. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If your first launch fails, that doesn't mean launching doesn't work or it's not for you. It just means you've got to tweak something.
Exactly. Yep. You got to look at what the data is telling you and try again.
Yeah. It's not personal either.
No. Some people might totally be hanging out for what you have, but they might not have found you,
Yeah. Super cool. All right. Any last words of wisdom before we wrap it up today, Bianca?
Oh, I think we kind of just hit the nail on the head with the just keep trying. Literally, and we're not all, but a lot of us are scared of the data because, like you said, it's not personal. But a lot of us do take it like it is personal, and it isn't. It's numbers, and this is why a lot of people say business is a numbers game, and marketing is, for some people, a yucky word, but it is basically just talking to people that need what you do. And that's where I'm always like, there's so many people that need what you do. Why are you withholding it from them? Why aren't you sharing it? Like, people are passionate about what they do. Share it. Keep talking about it on your Facebook page, Facebook groups. Keep sharing, rather than selling. Keep telling those stories.
Yeah.
Show the passion. And I think that's another thing. It's not just the selling, it's telling the stories. And that's what I've seen have made the biggest changes in my clients' launches. It's like it doesn't even feel like selling.
Yeah.
They tell stories of what they do and how they share, what they know and what they do with people and how they can help. And that's basically what's given them their biggest launches. So don't give up. Look at the numbers. If you don't like looking at the numbers, get someone else to look at the numbers, because then you sort of detach from that personal aspect. Because it is in the numbers. You'll find some gold in that data and then go, oh, I thought I had a conversion problem. No, I have a traffic problem. Or, only this many people went to my sales page and only this many people made it to the bottom. Or only this many people have opened my email. I need to change my subject line. And that might help more people, get more people to open it. So look at those numbers. Sorry, it's not the greatest news, but a lot of people don't like looking at the numbers, but look at the numbers. And it's not.
Well, it's good news really, because it just means it's not personal and you're not a bad person if your launch fails. It's like, you don't suck. You've just got to go back and check the numbers, right? This is not about you. Go and look at your numbers, right? Make some little tweaks. It's totally a normal part of evolving in a business. It's no reflection on who you are as a human being.
No, exactly. And it's all learning. I don't think failure, in my opinion, failure is not a thing. It's all a learning. Yeah. Failure doesn't exist unless you give up.
Yeah, that's it. That's right.
So awesome. Keep trying. Yay.
So if people want to find out more about who you are and what you do, Bianca, where can they go?
They can go to biancamckenzie.com.
Perfect. We'll make sure the link is in the show notes as well. Thank you so much for being back on the show, Bianca. Great to talk to you again.
Thanks so much.
We've been speaking with Bianca McKenzie. I'm Renee Hasseldine. You're listening to Leveraged and Loving It. I'll talk to you next week.
For all the downloads and links mentioned in this episode, head to shareyourpassion.com.au.